Hello and welcome to In the Weeds. We're recording live from the Pickeyweedz Esoteric Occult Boutique, located just south of Clark Summit, Pennsylvania, in beautiful South Abington Township. Pickeyweedz is the largest and most diverse boutique of its kind in northeast Pennsylvania, with an increasingly wide variety of items for many traditions.
In addition to items for sale, Pickeyweedz hosts a wide variety of classes, events, and community-driven gatherings throughout the year. Pickeyweedz is located at 105 Layton Road, South Abington Township, PA. Open Wednesday through Sunday, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. More information can be found at www.pickeyweedz.com. That's PICKEYWEEDZ.com, or on our social media channels on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. In the Weeds is the official podcast for Pickeyweedz, where we strive to bring the community together with topics of interest, guest speakers, and informative discussions to benefit the entire community.
If you'd like to be a guest speaker, either live or remote call-in, please visit www.pickeyweedz.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the page, find In the Weeds podcast guest application, click it, copy and paste the text into an email with your contact information, and send it to us at pickeyweedz@gmail.com.
Now let's get in the weeds.
Hey guys, welcome back. I think we're episode 11 now, John?
Yeah, episode 11.
And we're here with Maryellen. Maryellen.
Good morning.
She's one of our favorite people. Hi, Maryellen.
She's our first live guest.
Woohoo! She's actually in the studio with these crazy people and the dog who keeps doing insane things to Maryellen right at inopportune moments. Yeah, Bella is into it. She's like, "Woo! I got 3 people I can torture."
She knows how to G.I. Joe under this table. She did that smooth as hell.
You're like, did something just brush past me? I'm not really sure. Oh my God. So Maryellen, if you guys don't know, she does our Wednesday night meditation and fire ceremony. So I think we're just going to start off there, and we're just going to kind of review guided meditation. So what is a guided meditation, and what type of guided meditation do you do?
Oh.
Oh, is that a question?
Wow. Are you talking to me?
It's a lot of words for early in the morning.
That's a lot of words.
Can I see that question?
Oh my God, it's funny. I'm going to share the phone. If you bump
Thank
it,
you.
it'll go away. I promise you.
Okay. So a guided meditation is no.
She won't let me have my phone back.
Taking control of this interview.
There's a bunch of ways to meditate.
Yes.
For new people and for people who are just learning how to get in control of what they refer to as their monkey mind. I have learned over the years to do a guided meditation, which means that I sit and talk pretty quietly.
She's got a great voice for it, trust me.
And thank you. And I have a 22-inch drum, and sometimes I have a heart chakra crystal bowl, depending on how I need to control for background sounds.
Right.
But the drum is my favorite. It's my heartbeat.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. And I actually had never done real guided meditation where I talk the whole time.
Yeah.
Until I started doing meditation
Here?
Facilitating meditation here. Here you go.
You're really good at it, though.
Thank you. Thank you. The only thing I used to say in meditation at the meditation center where I was part of the programming committee was, like breathe in deep, breathe out long, get people settled in their bodies, and then, like let your mind, if you start thinking, let your mind watch the thoughts. Sorry.
I pointed at myself and said, like, right now, I'm thinking, right? Maryellen's like, I can't look at her anymore.
I don't look at anybody when I talk either.
Slow it down now. Watch your thoughts. Let them go by like clouds in the sky. And return your attention to the breath. Don't let there be any judgment. Just psh. And then there would be some background music, which was always beautiful. And that was it. So when I came here, I knew I had to say more. Just to get people through 10 minutes. It's okay.
Yeah.
She's doing her thing. Just to get the people through 10 minutes, which is where we started, and then lengthened to 15, and now we're up to 20-minute meditation.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And then they get antsy. I
Yeah.
can see them, like the ankles. Things are moving at 20 minutes.
Or they go out. And you're like, wait.
There was one person who snored.
Wasn't me.
I'm not naming names.
But you're very relaxing. That should be a reward in itself. Like, man, look what I did.
Yeah, but that's
I
not
knocked you
100%
out.
of the time. We all know that. It's a front.
I want to knock them out sometimes, but never in that way.
It's a front. So yeah, that's all there is. So, I didn't really answer the question. I dodged.
No, you didn't. I think my
what
question is
decided,
what it is.
So what is guided meditation?
Yeah.
I'm there, like, how I start the class, I've learned to say, and this really frees people up, my job is to facilitate. My job is to be here like home base.
Yeah.
So you have a place that if you flake out and get caught up in your thoughts and the worries of the day, you can go, oh, God, let me check back in with whatever Maryellen's talking about and let it take you back in.
That's awesome.
So, sometimes we go for a walk. And these are... One lovely lady said to me, I loved your meditation last night. It must have taken you forever to memorize it.
That's not how this
You're
works.
like, no.
And some of it is actual walks that I go on or have been on because I do revisit them for myself.
Yeah.
Because I can close my eyes and
See it.
I can be there.
Yeah.
But that's after years of working at this.
No, I get it. That's like
So-
astral. You're just going there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just sit and we went for a walk the weekend before that one. And I literally described the walk from where our feet started to when I decided to bring in a spirit guide. And then it got different.
Different?
because sometimes there's enough of me out of the way that a channel opens up. I refer to it, as you've said, as hollow bone.
So what does hollow boned mean?
So, to me, in a very concrete way, my dog Rosie used to carry around a white bone that was about 6 inches long and hollow down the middle. And that's exactly what I mean by hollow bone.
Yeah.
So I step out onto the edge where it's just the bone, and whatever energy is there, whatever needs to come through, it's like it taps me on the right shoulder and it says, say this, say this, say that,
Love
do
it.
this. No, drum this way. I want you to drum this fast. No, that's really fast. No, do it.
Listen to
and so
me.
there's this so sometimes there's a conversation, but so part of it gets channeled.
Yeah.
And it wasn't planned. It's happened and it's evolved. And it's beautiful. So some of what Dave's being a goof. It's not my fault. Some of what comes out is just where I'm led.
Yeah.
So it's spirit led.
That makes sense.
So hollow bone is kind of like a conduit from spirit.
It's a bridge, yeah.
Yeah.
It's room for
I
that
like
bridge
that.
to
Bridge.
form.
Yeah.
So whatever lineage I may be particularly focused on that night, and I'm trained in several officially different lineages.
Do tell. You knew I was going to put that out there.
No.
Do tell.
Okay, so hollow bone, we got that.
We got that.
And that's an old term, too.
Yeah.
Right? That's not like something you made up because you saw your dog with a hollow
Yeah.
bone. That's like
No.
an actual piece of terminology.
Like
It is.
saying it's not coming from me, it's coming from spirit. I'm hollow boned. I'm a vessel. Sort
Hollow
of like
bone
that.
I learned from Marcelo Lobos when I did training in something called the Moonai Key, which there are books available exactly about that. She's written 2 books. I trained with her husband in person, Alberto Villoldo,
I don't know who he is.
Yeah, he might have been. He's been around a while. And he's written many, many books, particularly The Medicine Wheel.
Yeah.
And I trained in the south of the Medicine Wheel with him. And then we were lucky enough during COVID that he basically did the training on videos and did fire ceremony with us all through COVID.
Oh,
That's
that was
amazing.
sweet.
So
Yeah.
that brought,
It's almost unheard of.
and I know,
I
it was
love
a
that.
great gift.
Yeah.
So from there, I tripped into, like, literally days before the course Moon Reiki opened up. And that was a 2-year. I mean, the course didn't take 2 years, but
Yeah.
we continued to meet at the full moon and do fire ceremony and talk and just check in with each other as a global group. And there are 10 ceremonies that we've learned. God bless you. It's coming.
I'm trying not to. I'm waking up.
There are 10 ceremonies or rites that are given by the indigenous people of Peru that they have worked with Dr. Vioto and Marcelo Lobos to westernize so that we're not, what's that word?
Googling it? Sorry.
Don't Google that, Maryellen.
So we're not acquiring
not how
somebody
that's
else's.
done.
I'm not a Google shaman. No,
I know one.
no, I
Just
was,
saying.
I do too.
Here to help.
Yeah, right.
so many roads to go down there. We won't do that. We'd be better than that.
No, we're not.
No, we're not. No.
We're gonna try.
You had it coming. You had it coming.
So he westernized it, and it was really beautiful. So we studied for almost a year together in Moon Reiki, and then there was another year of, we'll call it internship, where we kept doing those rites and sharing with other people and meeting in groups. And
That's awesome.
you know,
So where was that training at? Where?
it was because it was still post-COVID. It was on Zoom.
Yeah.
And I, that's the way we could do it. But it was global. There were people from Germany, Australia, all across the United States, just all over Europe, meeting in this.
Yeah.
There were easily 300 people in the group
That's
that
incredible.
trained. It was
Yeah.
huge. And I have a certificate if anybody wants to check it out. It's a real deal.
You actually did other training too, like overseas in other countries, right? Like Reiki and some of the other.
Actually, my Reiki training was in Houston.
Oh, Houston, the magical, mystical city of Houston.
That's where my teacher. So the Reiki training also, and both of these paths sprang from the path of yoga that I follow.
Yeah.
And the same person is,
Which is Siddha, right?
it's called Siddha Yoga,
Yeah.
Siddha Yoga. And it can be found online. They have a beautiful website where you can read and listen to. You can listen to chants and talks, and
They're beautiful.
everything's there.
Is that more the internal art portion of yoga, sort of like Tai Chi's more internal to martial arts? Would you say?
I would say that
She's been triggered.
Baba,
I just saw my eyebrows for the first time.
look at her picking up her cue cards. Swami Muktananda was the first person who, while I did not meet him in person, I probably tripped over him on Santa Monica Beach as a kid.
Yeah.
Probably right over him because he was right where we were.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
And then my then piano teacher, but still beloved Aunt Julie, said, Maryellen, when I was 12, she said, you need to learn how to meditate. So she taught me about this path a little. She gave me his autobiography. She gave me this meditation card, which explains the mantra.
That's the card she gave you?
This
You
is
had
the
it all this
literal
time.
card.
That's
I keep
amazing.
it in the frame where it's safe.
That's amazing.
That is.
And it's
And it looks new.
it's a treasure.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
It's a treasure.
That's amazing.
But it's a way of living. It's not a religion. The first thing they would say, it's not a religion.
Right.
And it's for anyone in any religion.
Yeah.
But it's a way to live every moment of every day. And not just to go up and it's not that I'm saying it's not, because it is. It's beautiful to go up to the ashram or to a meditation center and go on retreat and just be there.
Yeah.
And just be someone who's washing dishes or pulling weeds or
Yeah.
whatever selfless service we're invited to do.
That's awesome. I love that.
And and even in our meditation group, we have a moment of selfless service every week that someone different is volunteered for.
That's excellent.
And other people are learning to jump in and bring like apples because people who
Those were amazing that Susan bought
that
last
was
week.
so beautiful.
Oh, and that bowl.
And it
Jeez.
was really
Yeah.
welcome because one of our
amazing.
meditators like went out pretty far. And,
Yeah, you need the sugar.
and the new meditators get really jazzed
Yeah.
on the energy, and it's like, oh man,
I gotta bring them back.
this is hyperactivity.
Ground control.
Sit down and eat your apple.
I love it.
What was
I love
the question? Oh, so it's
that. City yoga.
it's a city yoga. It's a way of living every moment, every day. John, keep your feet over there.
Are you playing footsie with Maryellen?
I am.
And,
Just
oh
with
my
my big
God.
Nobody's
Just
talking
the
to
big
me, so
toe.
I just do my
I
thing.
feel completely left out.
Here, honey, here, I give you
okay,
I love you.
You're in a cage.
I love you both.
I am.
Get away the heck over here. So that's it. All came from there. Going back to the Reiki, my Reiki teacher was a Siddha yogi.
Yeah. Oh wow.
She passed
I don't think I
in
knew
the
that.
last couple of years. She was a Siddha yogi. She was well beloved. Her daughter is well beloved in the community as well, and we embrace her because she's been through a lot. The lineage, Reiki was founded by someone called Dr. Usui, who was said to have gone up on a mountain and meditated for 40 days and came down with this system. And it's hard not to laugh at the two of them.
I'm having a hot flash.
Oh, my God. So he
I'm
came
of a certain
down and he trained his disciple, who trained this beautiful lady in Hawaii named Hawaii Takata. And she eventually trained someone from the mainland because we are scum.
Yeah, we are. We are.
But this Barbara Lincoln McCullough was wonderful. Mrs. McCullough trained my teacher, who trained me. So I'm 5 out from Dr. Usui.
Oh.
And there's a few teachers around who have that same claim.
That's awesome.
They're a little bit older than me, and there aren't many of us. So it wasn't done through Google. It was done through the traditional way. And I won't say
So they were very
how much
selective.
the training cost, but it was the original way it was done.
Yeah.
And it was years of like a residency.
Yeah.
And
Way it
study
should
and
be.
practice. The first year, the first 2 years were really spent on self-healing. And then I was allowed to take clients and practice on Gary and Brian. And then later other clients, one who swore it helped with shingles.
Oh yeah.
And I had a lot of really incredible experiences.
Well, that makes sense. There's a lot of nervous energy in shingles because your nerves are literally attacking you.
Yeah, and I knew
So that
like
makes sense.
the job was working if people like snored or drooled. That was good. So
We should give some to Bella.
Yeah.
she's
out.
asleep. She's behaving.
She's like, I
Yeah.
just had enough of you people.
I've got all 3 people here. I'm good. And so that's my training in Reiki, and it's all energy. You hear that word chi, ki.
Yes.
It's all the same stuff.
Yes, it is.
It just gets different labels, which is why I try to avoid a lot of labeling.
So I got to ask a question. What made you get into any of it other than you were a piano player, or you were being taught piano by a family member? And she was like, okay, you need to learn to meditate. Is that how it all started?
Well, that was what got me started down that particular path. But
She's looking at me like, you suck.
You said throw me curveballs.
go ahead.
You got a Tar Heel over
No,
there.
I knew this
Throwing
was coming. I
knuckleballs.
was thinking about it this morning while I was flossing. But I always felt like there was something more. Like there were better answers than what I was getting. And, I was the kid who went home from church. I was raised Episcopalian. So we're the hippies.
Yeah.
We are the wackadoos of the Christian world. And I accept it. It's cool. It works
I love
for
that.
Me. We read the whole Bible, though, cover to cover.
Yeah.
And
I did too,
and
like
we are
6 times.
aware. Yeah. And we're so I'd come across stuff and I'd be like, same story, different.
It's almost like they took it from somewhere else.
Right?
Like they're telling the same story twice.
Gilgamesh. I don't know.
But they're not. It's not saying the same thing at all.
No.
And so I went to church in this most beautiful church in Edison, New Jersey. It was called St. James Episcopal Church, and it was built. I think it was built in the 1600s. It burned down. It was used as a Civil War hospital. It had clear glass windows. It was gorgeous. The pulpit was above the altar. It was just beautiful. But poor Father Waldron, because I could get to the foot of the back stairs of the pulpit before he could get down them.
Minutes.
I
can totally see that.
I was in the choir, so I just tuck my Bible and get there and have it open and be ready and you could just see his face, just his eyes roll back in his head.
Oh God, this child. She's definitely possessed.
Sake, there she is again. And I knew there was something. I didn't love the concept, and he didn't really propitiate it.
Yeah,
but I didn't love the concept of somebody being an intermediary between me and what created me.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
No, I'm going to talk directly.
That was my issue. Yeah.
And Father Waldron said, "You go right ahead."
Yeah. Oh, you do it. See how it works out.
You go right ahead. Yeah. You do that.
I love that.
Man, it's easier.
Yeah. Don't make me have to do your dirty work. I'm not talking to him for you.
So I was, just always felt like there's more.
Yeah.
There's just got to be more.
Yeah. Same.
And there is. That's it.
You're going to have to take the next question, because guess what my phone just did? Yeah.
What? Went crazy?
Yeah.
It had a seizure.
Not you and electronics.
No, I hate it. It hates me back.
So, you see a lot of mainstream Reiki now where people take 3 different sessions with a teacher and now they're a Reiki master.
Yeah, oh my God.
What's your opinion on it? Does it kind of cheapen it compared to the traditional experience, or?
Sure it does.
Yeah.
Sure. That's like saying I went to medical school and you take a 3-week course online.
No, thank you. Stay away from me, lady.
Yeah? Okay, I can write you a prescription.
You might die.
I die.
But I'll be fine.
It's like the surgeon saying, oops, in brain surgery. No thanks.
Yeah. So it kind of demands a little more serious approach, a little more dedication.
But I will back up and weigh it and say, there are people who are more enlightened. There are people who have studied Tai Chi, Qigong, and they have those experiences, and they take these Reiki classes, and they see the equivalences, and maybe they feel it.
Yeah.
And maybe they are blessed with that power in their hands.
Yeah, because
they can hollow bone and those people were rare.
Yeah.
It's not everyone takes time to tune into it.
Yeah.
Everybody can. Everybody can do this.
Because energy
it can be developed.
Energy.
You just have to show up.
Yeah.
And I might have some strong opinions.
I love that.
But you just have to show up.
I couldn't agree more.
It's not that. And we learned last week that we don't use the word C-A-N-T. C-A-N-T.
She didn't say the other one. That's the one that makes me swing on people. She said C-A-N-T.
You don't use that word.
C-A-N''T.
Yes.
She didn't say that.
No. We don't use that word. We just keep trying. We just keep showing up. Another word I might
did she call me a see you next Tuesday?
Tay, and I'm like, oh man, did I enunciate clearly?
I said there's still men in North Carolina still running. They haven't looked back to see if she's still chasing them.
They had it coming.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, anybody can do it. Just like people say, oh, I get so caught up in my mind, I'm unable to meditate. And I'm like, if you can breathe,
You can meditate.
you can meditate.
Yeah.
Because that's where we start everything,
In.
is with the breath.
Out. Yeah.
Okay, Tay, that's just going down the wrong road there.
Pause for a commercial
Back
break.
it up.
Beep, beep, beep. Come on, baby, light my fire.
Right off the rails. Anytime you get these two together, it's right off the cliff. So what would you say is the most interesting thing that happened during your training in any of these disciplines? What's one thing that stands out to you that was really interesting? I'm making you think.
You are, because
Have there been that many interesting things? Like I got to pick one?
well, yeah. I mean, it's been a path. It's been okay. There are a couple. Here's a couple examples. As I started walking the path of Siddha Yoga, which was more towards my adult years, as like 25, 26. Mm-hmm. So it was during the Gulf War, because they had extra chanting sessions at the local ashram, which just happened to be around the corner from our house.
Yeah.
And so we started walking the path. I dragged Gary along. I'm like, I don't know. I need you there, because we'd just gone through some culty things in our world, and I didn't know anything about Siddha Yoga at that point.
Yeah.
And I wanted to feel safe while I was exploring the people there, the ideology, the thinking. What is this?
Yeah.
Because I think everybody should question.
Absolutely.
Nobody should take anything on faith.
There is no walking human who's a manifestation of God on this earth, except you. You are your own God.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. You're a beautiful goddess.
So is Bella and John.
No,
You're a beautiful goddess, John.
I am. I feel pretty. Oh, so pretty.
I feel pretty. Oh, so
Completely derailed.
Hey, if you give us the chance,
All right, so back to the question.
we'll take the wheel.
Oh,
That's
I'm
right.
reeling them in.
We're like Jesus. We take the wheel.
I can whistle through my wrist. Sorry.
Oh, my God. My
I
son's
whistled.
going to listen to this, guys.
Listening
He's
father.
going to get an education.
He sure is.
You help an old altar boy father.
So I started having dreams. And I'd wake up in the morning with a word in my head. And I'd have to look up the definition of this word, because it would be something really archaic.
That happens to me. I
And
get that.
it was clearly a message. And so then the dreams always came like just before I woke up, like between 5 and 6, and back in the day when I actually got up early.
She's mad at us for getting up early. That was a shot across the bow. I saw it.
This is 9:30 shit.
Yeah, that was the first thing I asked.
What the
Hey,
hell?
Jesus, 9:30,
You
man.
want me to talk at 9:30 in the morning?
Don't they know me yet? Man,
There's not enough coffee in the world.
Well, the good thing is you can take a nap here till meditation.
Go lay on
Have the
the
room to
floor.
yourself.
pass out. I got cats waiting for me at home. So, but
I'm not
then I
going
started
there.
having dreams that got a little more intense,
Yeah.
but informative. And the first one I ever had, I was walking through the woods that I had never been in. I could hear the crunch. It was autumn. I could hear the crunch of leaves under my feet, and the trees were, within reaching distance. And she was in front of me. This is the successor to my first teacher. And she led me up this hill to what looked like a white building without any windows. And I went inside and sat down in front of this Swami who was bald, and he gave me a message. And I woke up and I was like, whoa, that's like, whoa.
Yeah.
So I wrote it in my journal, and a couple months later, we're up there in South Fallsburg at Sri Muktananda Ashram, and there's that bald Swami from my dream. And he's about to give a talk. And he's got, back in the day, slides. This was a long time ago.
Yeah. The worrying.
Well, I've never used PowerPoint, but I remember slides.
Yeah.
And
Next slide.
next slide, please. And he put up this picture of a white tent in the forest that autumn.
That's funny.
And they were having a class called the... I can't remember the name of the class. Gary would.
Yeah.
Sorry, fail. But they were having this class. And the big announcement was that, it was called the month-long course. The big announcement was the following summer they were going to break it down into week-long stints. Because at that time I was in residency and I couldn't take a month off.
No.
That was just never going to happen. A week, maybe.
Yeah.
But a month, never.
Yeah.
So I was like, and I look at Gary and he's like, thumbs up. And he's like, and you can see the dollar bills flowing out of our account.
Our wallet is emptying as we speak.
You know,
Yeah.
It was, and I took that course and I went because I felt that dream was
Yeah, important.
get yourself there.
Yeah.
And it was just, and since then that's happened regularly.
Yeah.
And I follow those.
Yeah.
I watch and see. I wound up walking on the Camino de Santiago because I dreamt that my bed was crusted with scallop shells, and there was a huge scallop shell in my hand. And I woke up and I told Gary about it, and he's like, well, you're going somewhere. And it turned out that the scallop shell was the symbol for the Camino de Santiago, and they were advertising the movie The Way.
Yeah.
And there's Martin Sheen wearing a huge scallop shell on his chest. And I'm like, stop buzzing past that commercial. Pause it. There's Emilio Estevez. Like,
Yeah.
give me a minute, will you? And at that point, I had a young son who was in elementary or middle school. I had a yarn store that I was trying to run.
Oh, that's right. She owned her own business.
Yeah. And I don't know how, and again, the question, I don't know how I'm going to take time off for this.
Yeah.
But I did.
Yeah.
And it was a priceless gift.
Yeah.
But there was grace and there was self-effort.
Yeah.
And I'm always talking about that. And this was, the things that they left out of the movie
Yeah.
were beautiful because, one of the things that I had a lot of trouble with was when my father passed, I didn't get that one last hug.
Yeah.
Because he sent me home to take a nap, and I think that was the only way that
Totally
because
get
we
that.
were so connected.
Yeah.
And it was really hard.
Yeah.
And so when I finally got to the cathedral, and I'm watching Mass, and I'm watching the incenser go back and forth, and then they say, oh, after Mass, line up and you can go hug the statue of the saint, St. James. And my dad's name was James Robert.
Yeah.
And that statue just needed to be sanitized when I was done with it because I just you're going to have to wait. I got to talk to Dad.
Yeah.
And it was powerful.
Yeah.
I got that was in 2012. So the first certificate that I received from walking the Camino was in the same place that they received their certificates in that movie.
Yeah.
Which no longer
Oh, wow.
exists.
Oh, that's
They
wild.
don't give the certificates there anymore. And so I listen. The hollow bone is every day.
Yeah.
And I try to, and when I don't listen, man, it hurts.
Yeah.
I get slapped upside the head.
Yeah, they get you.
Oh.
Yeah. You will listen to me. Yeah, pretty much.
Pay attention.
But then do you ever have those moments like I do? Like when they send you something random in a dream and you're like, why the hell are you telling me this? I can't do anything about it. What is wrong with y'all?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just a peon.
I'm just a peon. I say that all the time.
What is that about?
I have no control over
I
this.
write it in my journal.
Yeah.
Write it down. maybe someday I'll remember it to come back and reference it.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of, misconceptions too with people that are kind of new to spirituality, whatever path that might be, that I don't know, they watch too many movies and I hear it referenced in the store from time to time. Like, well, you have powers,
Makes me
magical powers, like
crazy.
it's Sabrina or Charmed, or we have magical powers, and it's nothing like that.
No.
Nothing like that.
No, when I began on this path, there were meditation intensives at the ashram, and you had a 3 by 3 foot masking tape square to sit in a room with 9,999 other people. Mm-hmm. And you best stay in your square.
I say that all the time. You better stay on your square.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me
in
off
the square
mine.
and don't nudge the person on either side of you.
Mm-hmm.
And not that anybody was mean, but
Yeah.
you want to be considerate. And a lot of it was just sitting in the dark.
Yeah.
Struggling with my mind.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to do this when I go home.
Yes, I hate
this
that.
This person's got her butt in my square. and look at
12
and
bubble.
there's Gary, and he's off floating in the cosmos. And I'm like, no, wait. And here's the ego. I'm the one who's been meditating since I'm 12. How come I'm not in the cosmos? How come I'm sweating and he's like Mr. Happy
This
Pants?
is bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What kind of bullshit is this?
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I'm the one that brought you into this, you jerk.
I'm going to take you out.
That's right. Oh, I think I'll poison him tonight when I cook.
But it is a journey of the self, though.
Yeah.
It's,
It is,
it's,
every step
and
of it.
people take a while to grasp that sometimes, and it's not as sexy as snapping your fingers and fire comes out of your arse. It doesn't work that way. And I think they have this expectation because of Hollywood or their friends or the romance novels they read. I don't know
my
where the
God.
hell it comes from, but
I think part of it is our shortened attention span.
Yeah.
yeah, we want it fast.
And I think
Nothing-
the other
Yeah.
part is our desperation.
Yeah.
Where anything's sacred in the world.
It doesn't come fast. It
Yeah.
doesn't come without a lot of sweat.
No.
It doesn't come in the space of a TikTok.
Yeah,
No.
no.
And the best thing you can do is put down the electronics.
The devices, yeah.
Because they interfere with your energy.
They do.
And
Yeah.
maybe that sounds woo to some people.
No,
I don't
no.
care.
No, it absolutely is correct.
Can't touch most electronics. My husband will not let me touch his phone.
As happened. I don't know about
And,
you, but I just
I have
destroy
a
them.
pile of dead watches.
Yeah, me
There's
too.
just no point. And so, do you see them on me?
Where
No.
watches
no,
go to
it's-
die.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
Yeah. So put it down. Walk away from it.
Yeah.
Read a book. Read scriptures.
Yeah.
Have a stack of cards with quotes on them, and practice what is basically bibliomancy.
Yeah.
And pull up a card with a quote on it
Yeah.
and go, wow, that's something.
Yeah, that's how if I'm just stuck, that's how I discern what's next. I'll pull out like the Art of War or the I Ching, and I'll go, God, I just can't get a clear answer today. And I'll just flip the book open and thumb my finger on it. And it usually,
Yeah,
for whatever
yeah.
reason, is exactly what I needed to
You're
hear.
allowing spirit
Yeah,
to guide you.
yeah, yeah.
And
Well,
not,
Yeah.
Working
good
with
point.
cards is the same as a book. It's just that the
Yeah.
cards are not bound.
Yeah.
yeah, you read tarot as well.
I might.
I might just a little.
And you kind of have that same approach where it's more intuitive than, or how do you do
I
it?
learned, oh my God, how many years ago was that?
We're old.
We'll just say it was
We're just
before,
old.
It was
before the
easily
internet.
40 years ago. There was no internet. There were no cell phones. There weren't computers.
Yeah.
There was a card catalog and this beautiful deck of French tarot cards that my best friend Richard brought back to me from France. They're gorgeous. And they're like a cranky old grandma.
Mm-hmm.
And they just, I know what each of the cards means, and I understand the symbolism behind the major arcana. They're Jungian archetypes. Mm-hmm. They're archetypes that we all look at and know, and even into the regular part of the deck, which is represented by a regular playing card deck. It all goes together. Yeah. But when you have a beautiful deck and I have several, Some from here, from your store,
Yeah.
that just are mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Then there's a symbolism that flows too, and it's like my attention is directed as I flip up each card. Each card has a given thing that it's kind of responsible for. This is the center of the issue. This is
Yeah.
the past.
That's the
This is
layout.
the energy around you. This is something that could happen, but the present, the future's not written in stone.
Right. No. It's just
It's
a
guidance.
temperature check. It's kind of
it's like bend over. Let me stick the thermometer in.
Ooh, don't threaten me with a good time, Maryellen.
Terrible.
Say ah.
Just terrible. Right off the
Sorry,
cliff.
John. I'm sorry.
Right off the cliff.
Oh my God.
Can y'all be serious for one damn minute? That's what.
I've given up on that. That's fine. Just roll with it. Whatever.
I'm a bawdy old Southern lady. Oh my God.
So you mentioned residency. You were actually a practicing physician for years, weren't you?
I was. I trained in pediatrics and practiced 10 years. And then when we were blessed to be able to, thanks, Bella.
Noise from the abyss.
And we were blessed to adopt my beautiful son, Brian. I said, he's going to want me around for not very long.
Let me get this while I can.
I'm going to get it while I can. And I retired, and I stayed home with him and raised him, and we're still there for him. His battery died last night in his car.
Oh.
But we had a beautiful dinner together afterwards while they unthawed.
Yeah.
And, I just so treasure our family. And I can be at home and anchor and like, no, I can't help you right now, but let me get Dad or this person. And
He's a
and
great kid.
We can
He
all,
really is.
Oh, I'm
He
so
is.
proud of him. I really am. He's
incredibly smart.
He's amazing. In fact, I was shuffling the animated deck that I got from you, and the first thing it wanted to talk about was Brian.
Isn't that funny?
And it showed me the page, which is the younger, and then it showed me the knight of the same suit. And I had shuffled these like separate piles, dropped them on the floor, and still these two came up together.
Yeah.
Like he's growing up. It's happening. He's moving forward. Yeah. You can be proud.
You can see it.
Yeah.
And it's like in short time, too, because it's not been that many months ago that he came to see me. And then he walked in here the other night, and I barely recognized him, which was really, really fantastic.
He is an amazing young man.
Yeah.
But he's been raised a yogi.
Yeah.
I tried. I took the two of them to church. Gary would fall asleep and snore. Brian would let loose in his diaper, and I finally said,
I can't imagine Gary in church. Sheldon in church? Come on.
People going to listen to this.
But you are Gary, and
We
you
love
know
you,
it, and we love you.
Gary, now here, this is a hornet's nest. Gary is Italian, the only son of an Italian family. They are Roman Catholic. And yeah.
Oh my.
And I am a yogi Episcopalian wasp.
Oh my God. I bet they disliked you intensely, didn't they?
A little bit.
It's not unusual. It's not a new story.
While we had Brian baptized in the Episcopal Church, because we wanted him to have godparents. We wanted him to have other people than just us to turn to. We wanted him to have a community.
Get that totally.
Besides the yoga community. We wanted him to have alternate places to turn.
Yeah.
Because I was given that and it meant a lot. But he was raised a yogi. So you take a look at him and he's got Ganesh on one side of his arm and Kali Durga on the other. And if you get lucky enough to see the right pack, there's Hanuman.
Oh, that's
Oh,
awesome.
And they
I
are
love Hanuman.
amazing tattoos. They are gorgeous.
I bet you were proud when you saw him doing that.
I was.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
it was really cool because he would send me a picture and say, I'm getting this. They just drew it. What do you think? And I'm like, it's beautiful. Or Carly Durga, like, man, they got her nose wrong. Have them fix the nose.
Fix the nose. Don't before you piss Collie
He's
off.
like, Mom, you're making me nervous. And I'm like,
Well, it's Collie.
Have him fix her nose because she's pretty and I don't know what that is.
Oh my God, that's funny.
So, but, and then he carries on. So he's revealed some opinions to me lately, and I'm like, wow, he really heard me.
Yeah. It's funny when that happens.
And I tell him, you heard me. I'm good now.
Yeah.
I'm good.
They have to kind of find it on their own.
Yeah, they do.
I'm not going to do it because Mom said. I'm going to do it because I want to.
Yeah,
and that's right.
And they fight you tooth and nail until then, and then they'll call you up on the phone, like Chanel, and they'll say something that you're like, oh my God, that's as if that came right out of my mouth.
But she found it. She discovered
it.
It was her decision.
Yeah.
And that's the important thing.
It's that moment when you keep your mouth shut really hard because you want to say, and I'm like, no.
Don't jinx it.
But you hang up the phone and you stand up and you do a little jig. You're like,
yes. Yes.
And I know you're listening, sweetheart. Yeah, you made my day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's that they made that choice. You may have given them the baseline, but you gave them the opportunity to decide too. And you see a lot of people trying to force feed their kids to be just like them.
They want
and
mini-me's. I don't want that.
No, we did the same with Chanel. She was exposed to lots of different
Everything.
spiritualities, and she made her decision.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have mattered to us one way or the other. If she finds peace and happiness there, that's what we want.
Except you did wish her to be gay.
Yeah, because at least I could have a conversation because she's got a broken pecker picker.
I am in no way responsible for that discussion.
Good God.
This has been a disclaimer and a public announcement.
At least I could have someone intelligent to talk to.
Right?
I got these knuckle draggers. I'm like, sweetie,
you can do so much better.
Yeah.
And you can.
And you absolutely
I think
can.
I'd go solo for a long time.
She
after what
is
she's
one
just
of the
been
most
through.
brilliant kids
she is.
ever. I have never seen someone so young have so much wisdom and be
talent.
able to do the things she can do just at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of everything she's doing right now.
Yeah, me too. That's kind of
she's an amazing kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
happy for her.
They pull through it, man.
Yeah, they do.
We all go through it.
And she found an earth angel.
Got to get her ass kicked a few times.
I suggest she hang on to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Well, don't we all get our asses
Oh my
kicked?
God.
Every day.
You have to. You don't learn until you do. And another thing I think we like to forget, we're driving this vehicle. Yeah. This is the world we're creating. Know ye not that we are gods? We are.
And this is something I talk about every week in meditation. The words that come out of your mouth create the world around you. The attitudes that you project create the world around you. Oh, these two are unbelievable.
I'm just pointing. He knows what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking
the
about.
words that come out of your mouth create the world you're living in.
And one of the oldest scriptures.
Yeah.
One of the old Mahabharata. The world is
Lotto.
as you see it. How do you perceive the world? Oh my God. Like how do you see the world? How do you choose to see it? Oh, these two. Lightning's going to come through any minute. Bella, we can run.
Hi, Taranis.
Bella and I are closest to the door so we can get out.
That would be, I've already won.
My bank account says something completely different than the amount of digits that I'm wishing for. Just saying.
I didn't say how much. It was
Right.
It was a $20
You won the
scratch
lotto.
off. but-
Congratulations. Here's $5. Go live in the moment. Hooray for you.
Yeah.
You can afford a hot chocolate at Starbucks.
That's right. Can you? Can you still afford a hot chocolate at Starbucks
Maybe
for
$5? Yes.
Maybe
yeah,
some
okay.
sushi at the gas station. That's
Ew.
what I'm
I might know that from this week.
Oh my God.
Like, I'm cold and I want something sweet.
So
You had me. Why did you go there?
You were closed.
She choked on her water.
we got to start videotaping these things.
I got
great.
scared
Yes,
you
we
were
do.
going to videotape today.
She's like, we're not videotaping. Well, I don't know. Maybe we are.
Why is there a picture over there?
Right. Oh, hey, baby.
So do you think like having a background in the medical field as a physician, did it have any influence on your decision to to join this thing? Was it something that, I don't know, like the people perspective? Being
People
there.
perspective was, I began in practice on the main line in Philadelphia, but of course all the people that came to me were the people who wanted holistic health care.
Yeah, of course.
They wanted Western health care.
Yeah.
They wanted their kids' ear infections fixed and the pink eye fixed
Yeah.
and the diaper rash, but they also wanted thoughtful care.
Yeah.
Right.
And they wanted preventive care,
Yeah.
which was beautiful.
Yeah.
Because I believe in that. That's one of the reasons that I committed to doing this meditation group every Wednesday night was the wellness aspect.
Yeah.
So I had a friend at the meditation center who was a homeopath, and I'd be like, "Oh, dude, I got these things to deal with this week. What do I use for this?" And he was so wonderful educating me. And so I just, whoever I could find to ask questions, I asked questions. I learned what my patients wanted, and
Everybody needs that
it
doctor.
involved studying Reiki. It involved taking Tai Chi.
Yeah.
Just always being a student, a life student.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
And not
Yeah.
being something other than a human being,
Yeah.
and reaching out to as many people as I can with just real love in my heart.
Yeah.
Not everybody wants it, and that's okay too.
That listening, it's hard to find. I hope you know that. As far as in that field, that ability to tune in and listen to your patient as if they're a person instead of, but it's not a lot of doctors' faults, because I have found in talking to a bunch of you guys that insurance only pays for a 15-minute consultation.
And not for nothing, but
Yeah.
taking it back to pediatrics, if you've got one kid in your room who has an appointment and he's sick, his 3 brothers and sisters are sick too, and chances are mom is too.
Oh, God, yeah.
So I'm not just seeing that kid; I have to care for that
That's
whole
a good
family.
point.
Yeah.
And the morality of it is, I have to care for that family.
Yeah.
Which is why we're always running late, because there's always more to do than what, and we're always double booked.
Oh, yeah.
My practice manager, June Jakewith, God bless her soul, kept me running
Yeah.
and functional. And I think we saw 65 students, 65 people a day.
Wow.
Because if you
That's
count
insane.
all the parents and all the siblings,
Yeah.
and people would complain to me and say, you're running late. And I'm like, well, how many children are you going to ask me to see in this room? Just the one that has the appointment? Well, no, I was kind of hoping. And I'm like, everybody does that.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to, but you got to know I'm going to be late for a reason. And I'm moving as fast as my feet will carry me. But I think the other thing that I want to backtrack to is that we need all of us to learn to listen with the goal of just understanding,
God, yes.
not to listen with the goal of making a response.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And we're all guilty. I'm guilty of it. We're all, Gary's guilty
You're
of it.
thinking like 7 sentences
What am I going to
ahead.
say
Yeah.
back to this person instead
Yeah.
of listening to their whole story with your heart?
Yeah.
And I try to encourage all those things.
Yeah.
And then I also try to listen to what needs to be said
Yeah.
in that channel.
I think it annoys me when I see the eyes glass over and I can tell that they're thinking
They're not there anymore.
about the response,
Sometimes I glass over.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
I just check
Well, I
out.
think we
I
all
think
do.
everybody does
Yeah.
it.
My social
Some days I
media-
just don't have it.
My
anymore.
social meter just gets
Yeah.
full, and
Yeah.
it's like, I don't
Yeah.
got it. I got nothing
Yeah.
left. I can't listen.
That's just
see me-
human.
You'll see
Yeah.
me get up and excuse myself. I don't really have to go to the bathroom. I just got to go clear my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, and stop all the
Well,
the
you
chatter.
get a lot of it right
Yeah,
there at the front
yeah.
desk. You
Yeah, you do.
You're just like, God
Yeah.
bless the two of you. I sit back in my little corner and
She gets the case of the ick. Like, oh.
I'm going to have to slap this person across from Tay. They just need to back it down.
But that's one of the reasons
part
why
of the
we're
job.
here. And I think that is part of
And
the
you're
job.
both really
Yeah.
generous.
Yeah.
If you're not that way, then you should be running a movie theater
Yeah,
or something.
so
not
you don't
a
have to talk to
metaphysical store.
Send them
because
off to stare at the screen.
There's a lot of people that don't have anyone else to talk to.
Yeah.
Especially about this kind of stuff, this
And
spiritual thing. So, yeah, you're going to
Yeah.
get questions. And
I think for you, it's probably the same reason I wanted to do this anyway. I was in corporate. It was a soul death. And in corporate, you can't be out and be pagan or heathen or witch or any of that stuff. And so when we finally decided that, this is it, we're going to take the plunge, I think it was more to build a tribe of people of like mind than anything else in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, money's nice.
Yeah.
It's good to
Gotta pay the bills.
Yeah, got to pay the light bill. Got to pay the water. But I think it was more about building a community and having not being so alone, because we had been solo for just the two of us for 2 or 3 decades probably. Since how long's it been? I think we left Michigan in '98.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's nice to have. I mean, there hasn't been a city yoga community that I know about right up here. Mm-hmm. And to build this meditation group has been amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It's built itself, and it continues to grow because people bring their people.
Yeah.
And then on Thursdays, it's, I let it be like one-on-one meditation group. If we need to do Reiki, we do Reiki. We need to throw in 3 cards of tarot. We do a little bit of... But tarot is just bibliomancy. Yeah. You're just picking
pretty much
some quotes from a book.
Yeah.
And, it's... Or I just listen. Sometimes someone just comes in and I know I'm going to listen for an hour.
Yeah.
And thank goodness I have the Western training to be able to listen and to spot... Oh, this is concernful, or, let me just listen. And then when it's done, we close with fire ceremony and we release.
I love that.
What we don't want to carry with us.
Yeah.
And I think that was when things really took off.
Yeah, it is.
And it's nice that I can come to you and say, Tay, look after this woman.
Yes.
I'm scared for her.
Yeah. And I'm like, I got you. And
then I just circle back to the next person.
Yeah.
Because I already have an appointment tomorrow for a couple.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, nice.
Later in the day, it's done.
Yeah.
Everyone who's coming tomorrow, come earlier in the day because the end of the day is shot.
So let me ask you a question. When you're teaching these guys meditation, stuff like that, what marker are you looking for in a student that they're experiencing growth? And it's time for the next stage.
Well, one, I don't feel it's my job to judge.
Yeah.
I sit there and I scan the room actively. I don't go into meditation. Mm-mm. I'm there to make sure that if someone's coughing, they've got a cough drop. If they're crying, they've got a tissue. If they're uncomfortable, I can say something about adjusting your body, relax your jaw. I see people there with clenched jaws and furrowed brows, and it's like,
oh yeah.
And so I keep tweaking as we go, and the room does. I know not everybody can see it, and I don't like making a deal of it, but sometimes it reveals itself.
Yeah, it does.
And the room sometimes just glows with these waves of golden light.
Yeah.
And when that happens, like, it's just more powerful to come together as a group. It's greater than the sum of our parts.
Yeah.
Mm.
And the meditations can be deeper than meditating by yourself. And it's certainly a great way to get started. But then the people who continue on their own, they don't just come once a week. It's like you're just going to go to church once a week.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
Yeah.
This is every day. This is taking a walk. This is when I wake up. I greet the sun. People who take it into their every moment, every day, those are the people I know. They want to work harder.
Yeah.
And then, I'll work hard. When they want it, then I'm absolutely there to share more or to channel more. And there are moments when I've passed rites, in class, past the healer's rite, and something has shown itself to me, and I'll go home and sketch it and hand it to the person the next week and go, this came up while you were standing there.
I love that you do that.
And it's one of them just scared the hell out of me. I'm lucky I didn't fall backwards on my butt because I wasn't expecting it. It was one of the first times that had ever happened.
Yeah.
But, and people ask me, well, when's that going to happen for me? And I'm like,
It'll happen when it happens.
12.
Yeah.
12. There's a lot of sitting in the dark and a lot of farts and a lot of dealing with my brain and my mind.
Yeah.
So you have years.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody's going to make it quicker for you, but I don't know.
I think the work is internal.
It's self-effort and it's grace from Spirit, from Creator.
Yeah.
And, when I see somebody asking questions and putting in the effort, those are the people that I'm happy to just like.
And it's fun
just
to
sit with
listen
them.
when they come out.
Oh, it's real.
So the things that they've seen, I didn't know that I was going to see things in meditation. Yeah.
Is that how this works?
Yeah, that's crazy. What the hell was this? I don't know. That was meant for you.
Sometimes I think they come to you.
Yeah.
And tell you.
They do. They do.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's okay. It's kind of like reading tarot. I don't want to know. I don't want to know anything. I just want to open up the cards.
Just really excited.
And just not anticipate.
Yeah.
So that it just rolls out and it happens. So it's spontaneous. So it's not cultivated. It's, be there, show up, and see what rolls through hollow bone.
Yeah.
It always comes back to that.
Yeah.
There's no room for ego. There's no room for I.
Love that. Yeah.
That's,
So the fire ceremony at the end, what is that supposed to?
I heard where she went.
What does it do? I mean, can you kind of touch on that? Like,
fire ceremony is pretty universal around the world, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
One of the first times in City Yoga I was ever there, it was to attend a Brahmin run fire ceremony with women in saris and marigolds and offerings of ghee to the fire and all, sugar and honey and flowers and foods. And it was beautiful. And since then I've experienced fire ceremonies in other countries and other traditions, largely with Dr. Vioto, who did that throughout COVID to help us just ground ourselves. And really, it's you can write a letter, you can take a piece of wood and write on that. Anything that you can write on, you can do that, or you can just take a little stick or a coffee stirrer, which is what I use, and blow on it. And as you're putting your breath, what keeps you alive, it carries your intent into the stick. It carries your prayers. It carries your worries, anything you want to get rid of into the stick. And I say, that's half the stick. Now you've cleaned out your closet. You have an empty shelf. You have room for blessings.
Yeah.
So now breathe into the stick your hopes, your prayers. Bless yourself. Breathe in love. Snap the stick in half. Put it in a melt-proof container, please. On a hot mat.
Oh.
Feel free to get a fire towel.
Get a fire mat.
Fire blanket, yeah, definitely.
Yes.
And, light it in a candle and put it in there. I have a little cast iron bowl from you.
Yeah.
And we put that in there and they burn. And the fire is a little different each time. Sometimes it takes it fast.
Yeah.
Sometimes it burns high, and sometimes it just kind of sits there and smolders like,
Yeah.
I don't
want it.
I don't know.
You
about
need to
this
hold on to
one.
that
You
for a
need to
little
work
while
that one a
longer.
little harder.
Yeah.
And eventually, when the bowl has enough ashes, I take them and offer them to the earth.
I love that.
Or I offer them into a fire ceremony packet called a despacho.
Yeah.
Which is another South American tradition.
Not
You can-
gazpacho, not the
Not
soup.
the soup. Des. D-E-S. Pacho. And you can find that on YouTube.
Oh, that's awesome.
The ceremony. And it's quite beautiful. And it's just a simple offering of whatever you have.
It was
You know.
gorgeous.
That's beautiful. I love it.
I
So-
watched that in Peru, all the candies and everything that they put in it.
And they have all
give
these little envelopes that come.
They give them sweets.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
give them cornmeal and flowers and leaves and it's
beans
beautiful.
and rice.
Yeah.
Things for the ancestors. Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So
Love
what
that.
do we have? And I have a little basket I collect stuff in over the course of the month.
Yeah.
And then at the new moon,
It goes.
It goes.
Yeah, plant those seeds.
And that basket fills up every month. It's remarkable.
I love that.
And the donation, so the meditation is donations based, and all the donations go to the food bank.
Yeah, our local food bank in Clark Summit.
Yeah. Food bank is amazing because it's not even manned.
Yeah.
Like there's a little sign, take what you need, leave what you can.
Yeah.
They're not preaching at
You know.
anybody. If you're hungry, you're hungry.
People volunteer, go in and
Yeah.
clean.
And this time of
restock
year
it.
is
Yeah.
huge.
Oh, yeah.
The need.
Families are trying to come together for the holidays,
Yeah.
and times are tough. Groceries are ridiculous.
Yeah.
I found a list, and it made some really good points. If you're going to donate canned foods, donate a can opener
or pull
get
top cans.
Pull top cans.
Yeah, I have a
donate tea and coffee.
Yeah.
People feel appreciated. If you're going to donate coffee, donate filters. Mm-hmm. You know, make it usable.
Yeah. If your port's not likely you have a machine that you can put a pot
No,
in. So
no.
please don't
Yeah.
donate pots.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Donate ground coffee.
Yeah.
That's easy to use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And coffee filters by the 1,000 are really cheap if you,
Yeah.
you
You
know.
know, and hot chocolate for the kids.
Oh, my
And,
God.
Oh my God, marshmallows! Like,
Yeah.
who doesn't want marshmallows?
What a
this time of
treat.
year?
Put a smile
For
on
a little
somebody's
kid,
face.
yeah.
I do have a whole
Yeah.
list. If people want
Yeah.
it, I can send it out. I
That's
can print
excellent.
it. If they want to bring those donations to meditation,
Yeah.
or on Thursdays,
We're going to put a box in here.
I
Yeah.
take them. I already
Yeah.
have a couple cans.
I got a couple for you too. They're juice.
Oh, good. That's
and they're
great.
pull top.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
perfect because I know they need it, and I need to get down there because my my very fancy collection jar, which is an old peanut butter.
That's
I
funny.
reuse everything.
Yes.
So it's an old peanut butter plastic jar, and I don't ever touch the donations. I just bring it into them. They empty it.
I reuse a
That's-
mayonnaise jar to make homemade salad dressing.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I do. It's excellent.
My husband's like, Maryellen, do you have enough yogurt cups? Can
no,
we get rid of the
I
other
don't.
glass
There's never
ones?
enough.
God, I don't want to be a hoarder. I don't
We
want
act like Depression era babies. It's weird.
but I'm trying.
It's just being frugal. That's all.
Well, I remember going through my parents' drawers, and I don't know why the hell they saved pop can caps.
Yeah.
But there were like drawers full of like pop bottle caps and the pull tabs for pop cans. I'm like, what the flying hell is this for?
A drawer full of used keys.
Oh my God.
I want my son.
I love
to go,
keys.
What
What
are
the-
these keys for?
That's going to be awesome.
Nothing.
You're going to be gone, and those keys are not going to fit anything. And it's going to be custom.
Oh yeah!
Oh, I love that.
Every time I get a little key,
Why didn't I think of that? Or of course, if you look at my key ring, though, she's going to kill me when I pass.
Oh, yeah.
you're a much nicer
Oh,
person.
my
than-
God.
Keys in the key drawer. Yeah.
I'd tie little ribbons on each one. Make
So
it look
the meditation is every Wednesday,
Yeah.
6 o'clock.
Yes.
It's donations based.
Yeah.
And then Maryellen's also here Thursdays doing Reiki and one-on-one
And readings.
and readings.
And meditation if you want
I
it.
will
So,
meditate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And she
So,
actually offers a full service there. Yeah. It's
and
kind of
we're-
fun.
It's like
We're getting-
one-on-one meditation night.
Yeah,
but
I love that. I love that.
So we're getting close to. We're about an hour and 8 minutes.
Oh,
now,
that's
so-
awesome.
Oh, my
I can't
goodness.
believe it went that fast.
Went pretty fast. So I was
Yeah.
a very enjoyable conversation.
Yes, it was. I
And
had a blast.
We
I did
really
too.
appreciate you getting up early for us and being our first guest.
I'll give you,
first
you
live
very
I'll give you a
much.
cup of tea before you leave. Yeah.
So if you guys want to check it out, it's every week, Wednesday and Thursday. And want to say thanks for sticking around this long and listening. And as always, like, share, follow,
Yeah.
spread the word,
Please. Yes, please do.
and have a great day.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
So we hope you enjoyed this episode of In the Weeds, and we hope you didn't have to pick too much pucker brush off your cloak after visiting with us here. If you liked the episode, please follow, subscribe, and share. And if you're really kind, leave a positive review. Be sure to tune in next week as we publish a new episode weekly. If you're in the area, stop by the store and see us. Thanks so much for listening, and have a great day.